Let's get into it.
Living, dying by the gun. It's been a long road coming from the bottom. What you don't know won't hurt you. That's a lie. I'm off that long road, still up in the bottom.
What's up, everybody? New Never You here. It's been a while since I've made a video, and this one's going to be more personal than I really like for it to be, but there's a lot of things that I've encountered in the past couple years. Let me just be honest. It's been since 2011. Before that, I wanted to shout out my books from Apologies for Apathy, which is about a boy growing up being apathetic about everything. But if you read it backwards, it's actually a man telling the boy why he shouldn't be apathetic. To the Girl Forgotten, a book about a majority of things that women go through in life, from infancy all the way to adulthood and eventually death. Spiritually Benevolent Conversations is about faith and how easy it is to lose faith and how hard it is to gain faith sometimes. Sarcasmic Sarcasm is about irony and how not to lose yourself in it despite the situations that you go through. Rex Tyrannorum translates into King of the Tyrants, and it's about three pieces: a prince, a tyrant, and a king, detailing which one you could be depending on the path that you choose. The Lost Genre Hope is about hope and how it is not clean cut and how everyone thinks that it's easily obtained. It's very hard to obtain and it's very hard to keep. The Lost Genre Love is about love, hate, and everything in between, and how love isn't just a word, it's a lot of action, it's a lot of repetition, it's a lot of showing up. The Lost Genre Grace and Mercy. Grace and Mercy is detailed heavily, and it tells you about everything in between grace and mercy and how grace and mercy is abused and how grace and mercy is rarely appreciated. Now, most videos that you watch nowadays are people using their stories, using their life to sell you something. I want to do the same thing. I want to sell you my books. But the main reason that I made this video is because I'm working on a new book that's going to end all my poetry for a while. Don't know if I'll ever come back to it, but I really wanted to talk to everybody about suicide. Now, I mentioned 2011 earlier. 2011 was probably when my life started going downhill. I was raised by a single parent, my mom. My dad was alive, but he was off doing his own thing. He was married to someone else and he was taking care of their children and wasn't really present in my life. I did meet him, and it was a situation where everything that I did in his eyes was either demonic or wrong or not manly or not, whatever the status quo was for a black male at the time. And so we didn't really have a great relationship. I actually resented him for a long time, but in doing that, growing up, didn't really have a lot of friends, didn't really have a lot of good relationships with people because carrying that weight of not being raised by a father and not having a father present, and you're seeing all these people raised by their parents, both parents, and your mom, my mom specifically, is doing the best she can to raise me, my brother, and my sister. So it was taxing on my mental health, as most people talk about nowadays. But a lot of people that mention mental health are celebrities. It's typically the common man mentions it, but it doesn't really go anywhere because, who am I to the world? I'm considerably no one. Outside the people that know me, outside the people that love me, I'm really nobody. And that's why I wanted to make this, for the people that feel like they're nobodies. It's easy to express your pain once or twice, and once you realize that people aren't listening to what you're saying, or they're not really caring about what you're saying, it kind of puts you, and all of this is coming from my perspective, it kind of puts you in a place of, why even try if my best efforts are getting thwarted? And I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. So for me, it's a lot more deeper than just the average surface level struggles. Alcohol, lust, power, greed. I mean, I've struggled with a lot of things in my life, and a lot of those things live in your head rent free, and you bring those things to people, and me specifically, hear stuff like, everyone has struggles, we're all going through a hard time, life is hard for everybody, that's life, get over it, be a man. I hear all these things from 2011 really up until the present of 2026. And there's a lot of times where it's, you need to do this, you need to do that. And instead of listening to my struggles, instead of listening to my problems, just being someone that quote unquote cares for me, to listen to the things that I'm experiencing or that I'm having trouble getting through, it's always passing the buck to somebody else, or being strong enough to pull yourself out of the situation, or bring your situation to God, or whatever the situation may be. It's never been a situation where I just had a listening ear. It's always someone trying to fix the situation. And the situations that I've been through and I have gone through aren't necessarily things that I need people to fix. It was more so I just needed somebody to show that they cared and listen to my pain, since everyone's going through something. And a lot in my life, I felt as though I've given more than I received, and I know a lot of people probably feel the same way. And it's getting to the point where people are all wearing their pain on their face. At least I can notice it. And nobody knows where to turn, because we're working these jobs that we hate, and we're trying to get as much money as we can to survive these price increases, these tariffs. It's just everything that just keeps happening. People are dying that we care about, and we feel that there's a void that nobody can replace that person, and we don't have anybody to reach out to, and it's a lot. It's a lot for anybody to really go through. It's a lot for anybody to really withstand. And I know that it's, listening to me talk about my struggles and listen to me rabble on about things that I've experienced doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, help people. But I've just gotten to the point where I'm tired of pretending like everything is okay. I'm tired of pretending that I'm not hurting on the inside. I'm tired of pretending that the sun will come out tomorrow. I'm just tired of trying to be somebody that I'm not. I theoretically should be a father of 3 children, or at least 2. Had 2 miscarriages. One was just a single baby. The second miscarriage was twins, which is what I wanted. And it's really devastating. And I don't think I've ever really recovered from that. And I don't think my wife has either. And it's things like that that I wish I could talk to people about without trying to get answers, to just kind of get it off my chest and kind of bury it, so to speak. And I don't really have that. And I don't think a lot of people do have that. And I think the issue is sometimes I feel as though people try to put their pain above everybody else's pain as if it's some form of competition, and it's not. If we're all trying to get through this together, why aren't we working together? Like, why are we fighting over race and creeds and religions and all these other things? I understand that there's always going to be a divide and people are always going to disagree. But from the grand scheme of things, we're born as humans first, and then we start to develop our beliefs and all these other things. So if I can't even treat another human well because I'm in pain, or they're a different race, or they have blue hair or pink pants, or whatever the case may be, then my pain's showing you that not only is your pain irrelevant, but you're irrelevant. And even with this video, I working on lights and all these other things, and it's pushed me back because I want it to be super cinematic, super lit, super nice, super viewable. And I've let all this pain enter a void in my life to where I don't even want to do anything creative. I don't want to be involved with people. I don't want to do anything. And I hope you can't hear that noise in the background. Somebody's cutting their grass now. But there's some poems that I wanted to read to you. And I hope you can kind of let off some anxiety by watching this. And I don't want to say the cliche thing that you're never alone, but I hope you're not alone. I'm not the best follower of Christ by a long shot. There's a lot of things that I have to work on. There's a lot of things that I have to let go. And there's a lot of things that I'm trying to push through. And it's difficult. It's difficult to surrender everything that you are to God and let Him take the wheel. Especially when you've fallen as deep as I have into despair, into all these things that people tell you you shouldn't be, but you end up becoming anyway. So I hope these poems help. One is just a snippet, and I'll probably read it and then show you the little picture on the video. And then the other one will just be over some videos that you can look at or you can listen to. It's up to you. But either way, I hope that you stay here on this earth. I hope that your pain is soon taken care of. And I hope that you find people that have your back, that love you enough to show up for you and be present in the time of need. And then I hope you can be that for someone else. Because it is true that we're all going through something. But if people were more transparent about being human, maybe a lot of people wouldn't have killed themselves. Or if they listened. Either way, we can't change the past. We can just change the future. And I hope this helps whoever it reaches. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You all be safe and keep doing your best. Knew never you. And if you did knew, now you do. Peace. Lightning striking on my sand house. Now it's glass that you can see through. Even when I had it all, I felt like a payment back to the bank. Alone. Poem title, Saturation. This is the truth they never speak. This is the revelation that I need. Started on the wrong side of the tracks in which I grew. I can find negativity in everything because that's what I'm used to. Once I had a slew of friends, suddenly the bandwagon withdrew. They say crying is for children and girls. Well, just call me Cindy Lou. Bullets scatter over all of us, but only a few have a clue. Blood is spilling on the sidewalks, but thank the God you don't believe in, it isn't you. All this fakeness is breaking all my senses, not to mention all these censors that cut $1 million checks to influence you to go and verb yourself. In a world where advertising your meow to your screen will make Diglets scream. I can't be the only one with a problem, but I'm told talking about my problems will help solve them. Wait, so who did you talk to about your issues that you never let go of? If bullets were words, all 9 of mine hit. These children suffer the most for what every adult did. Nobody's perfect is a statement only cowards scream. That's an obvious statement. Don't patronize us, please. You get a suicide letter and you send a text that reads, "It doesn't matter, because they're dead," like your humanity if you think words on the screen equal the same weight as words from the heart that leave your mouth. All the signs you disregard to see would be the death of many beings. People love to pray to Jesus, but they don't love to try and do something. Pain is evident if you look into it. Satan is the enemy, but he didn't make me do it. All these dead seeds from porn scenes that saturate the market. Love's the component that we all need, but when the world is only real via AI, we're all Digimon. Everyone shows up at funerals, but only 1% in life. People fighting over BBLs instead of what truly matters. All these lost genres of hope, love, grace, and mercy. I just need some serenity. Somebody to be honest and expect only human from me. Pick me up when I fall. Knock the liquor from my hands when I go to consume these cans. If no one has told you before, I'll do it now. Life is hard, and it'll probably get worse. But you're never alone even when all you see are ghosts. Everyone should have at least one person to help them cope. And if you don't, I'd like to be that inspiration to you because I honestly think you're dope. Don't lose hope. Live on, and I'm sorry you've been through the rain of life. I'm sorry that your pain kept you up at night. I'm sorry that you have cuts people never have seen. I'm sorry that your husband cheated. I'm sorry that your wife died. I'm sorry that you're scared to cry. I'm truly sorry for your pain, and I know I may not be the person who hurt you, but I just want you to know that I've been through pain too. But don't let those scars define you. I wanted to give you a voice to put your anger to because some therapists will tell you that feelings aren't real, but they're real enough to kill you. It's hard being human. Thank you for being one. Please don't hurt yourself. We, the people of this world, need you. I need you. Stay strong. God, I just want to come to you today and say thank you for this life that I've received. Thank you for the family that I've been given. Thank you for the wife that you've blessed me with. Thank you for everything that you have seen fit to allow to happen in my life. I know a lot of times that I complain, I whine, I scream, I throw a tantrum, I fall short of what you expect from me. And a lot of times I'm angry, I'm prideful, I'm wrathful, I'm gluttonous, I'm lustful. And I go about life my own way and I ruin so many situations and I often blame others and more often I blame myself. It's hard for me to admit defeat. It's hard for me to admit that I was wrong. It's hard for me to believe I couldn't get something right the first time because of the high standard that I have for myself. I have consumed way too much negativity in my life, way too much alcohol, too much porn. I've subjected myself to things that I knew were wrong just for the sake of trying to fill a void of sadness, of people leaving my life, of people telling me that I'm less than, or myself telling myself that I'm less than. And I mean, there's parts of the Bible that I have memorized. I mean, there's things that I know better. You know, I know that I'm not defeated. I know that in the word you tell us that we're more than conquerors, that we're loved, and that you're always with us. But it doesn't always feel that way. It doesn't always feel like you're on my side. It doesn't always feel like I'm gonna make it through the storms that you allow to happen to build resilience for me to be stronger for someone else and to get someone else through their storm. A lot of times it feels like I'm the guinea pig, and it hurts. And sometimes I feel like I can't even turn to you because of the things I've done. And I'm ashamed of the things I've done in my past. And I believe that those things kind of hinder my future. It's a cold world, and I don't know how to navigate it. I've sought the help of people, I've sought the help of drugs, I've sought the help of alcohol, porn, and none of it fixes anything. It just leaves me in this deep void of madness. And God, just ask you forgive me of all those things, those sins, those iniquities, and those transgressions against you and against this temple that you've provided me with. That's supposed to be your temple. But I've ransacked it and allowed access to demons to have parties, and I failed you so many times, and you've just been there in all the worst times and all the good times, and all I do is complain. God, for the people that this reaches, I just ask that you bless them continuously, more so than you already have. Give them the strength to persevere. Give them the power to push forward, and give them the faith to keep believing even when they can't see. And even for the people that this doesn't reach, I just ask you to do the same for them. Because the hardest part of being a human is being human. I just ask that your will be done in my life and the lives of those that I encounter, and the lives of those whose voice or whose ears hear my voice. I just ask that you do what you see fit. In the holy name of Jesus, amen.